Hare Krishna, Krishna. Name is then practice Abhas Yoga. If you are unable to practice, then mat karma bhava, mat karma karma, mat karma karma. Even if you are unable to do this also, then 11 verse. Atha itat api asakta shi mat karma bhava. Atha yogamasya sarva karma phalotakam tato kuru jata. Atha, even though itat this api asak unable, Oshi, you are Kurtum to perform mat unto me jogam, devotion service, as still taking the process. Then Sharma Karma follow Tyagam. Sharma Karma follow Tyagam. Renounce all activities. Renounce the results of all activities. Sharma Karma follow. Tat then Kuru Jato Atmavan, self-situated. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results to your work and try to be self-satisfied, self-situated. Previous verse was Mat karma karo. Do everything for me. If unable to do that, unable to do for me everything, then at least whatever doing, give the result. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. It may be that one is unable even to sympathize with activities of Krishna consciousness because of social, familial, or religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attached himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objection from family members or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated result of his services to some good cause. I hope it is clear. Still, I want to clear it. Honorable practice. If honorable, third is mat karma, do everything for me. If you honorable, how like do everything for Krishna. If you unable to do that, familial objection, social objection, then do that for some other social cause, opening hospital, feed the hungry people, open pond, do some, spend for some good causes. So, rules. There is some internet issue. I'm reading again. It is also found that when one who is not even interested in the activities of Krishna consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution, he gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here because by practice of yoga, giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually. And in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Consciousness is not dependent on any other experience. Sacrifice one may the stage of pure devotional service discipline long. In Bhagavad Gita, we find it is stated, Jata pravittir bhutana. If one decides to sacrifice for the supreme cause, even the sacrificial method. Now, verse 12 is concluded most. Srihi Jnanam Jnanat Dhyanam Sriyo Jnanam knowledge of Bhasha. Jnanat, then knowledge, Dhyanam, meditation. Visheshat is considered better. Dhyanat, then the meditation. Karma phala tyaga, renunciation of results of political action. Tyagat, by such renunciation, Shanti, peace. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. I hope it is clear. If you cannot take this practice, what is take this practice? Give him a karma form. You will give karma form. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. As mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotional service. The way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment in love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those who are actually not able to follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge, because by knowledge one can be able to understand his real position. Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. By meditation, one can be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by a gradual process. And again, so difficult. As mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotion. The order of is something. Pishuka raise his hand.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam. Your voice is not coming.
There are two kinds of devotional services. For how long?
हरे कृष्णा गुरु महाराज, दंडवत प्रणाम। आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, इतनी देर से कुछ समझ में नहीं।
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Tadapna. Maharaj, maybe by keeping the video off.
Okay. Can Ramli please here? Yeah, I'm trying. So, how long you have not heard? Tell me. From which verse you have not heard?
Maharaj, 11th,
Please write in the
11th
chat.
verse. 11th verse, full part.
11th verse. Okay. Let us try from 11th verse again. I am reading again. অথৈতদপি অশক্তোষি কর্তুমজ্জগমাশ্রিত সর্বকর্মফলোত্যাগম তত পুরিযদা. Otha, even though etat, this, opi, also, ashaktaha, unable, oshi, you are, kortum, to perform, mat, jogam, asrito, mat, unto me, jogam, devotional, asrito, taking repose. Then what you should do? Sarvakarma phalottyagam. Then give up the results of all activities. Tato, then what will happen? Kuru do jato atmavan, self-situated. I have it is now improved. If, however, you are unable to work, in this consciousness, mat karma krit, you are unable to do incest, then try to act social, familiar, and religious considerations, or because of some other impediments. If one attaches himself directly to the activities of Krishna consciousness, there may be objections from the total members, or so many other difficulties. For one who has such a problem, it is advised that he sacrifice the accumulated result of his activities to some good cause. What are the good causes? Opening his school, college, orphanage. Such procedures are described in the Vedic rules. There are many descriptions of sacrifices and special functions for the full moon day, and there is a special work in which the result of one's previous actions may be applied. Thus, one may gradually become elevated to this state and one who is interested in the activities of consciousness gives charity to some hospital or some other social institution. It gives up the hard results of his activities. What he should? He gives up the hard-earned results of his activities. That is also recommended here because by the practice of giving up the fruits of one's activities, one is sure to purify his mind gradually, and in that purified stage of mind, one becomes able to understand Krishna consciousness. Of course, Krishna consciousness is not dependent on any other experience because Krishna consciousness itself can purify one's mind. But if there is impediments to accepting Krishna consciousness, one may try to give up the results of his action. In that respect, social service, community service, national service, sacrifice for one's country, etc. may be accepted so that someday one may come to the stage of pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, you find it is stated, Jata pravittir bhutana. Pravitti. Divine living, it is a different type of propensity. Even sacrifice for the supreme cause, even if he does not know that the supreme cause is Krishna, he will come gradually to understand that Krishna is the supreme cause by the sacrificial method. Ch-12. Last. Srehi jnanam abhyasa. Jnanat dhyanam vishesha. Dhyanat karma phalotakas. Tagat shantir anand. This Sreyo beta, he is certainly jnanam, knowledge, abhyasa, then practice. Jnanat, then knowledge. Dhyanam, meditation. Vishishyati is considered better. Dhyana, then meditation. Karma phala tyago, renunciation of result practice, of fruitive action. Tyagat, vices, renunciation. Shanti, peace, anantaram, thereafter. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. As mentioned in the previous verses, there are two kinds of devotional service. The way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment and love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those who are actually not able to follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge. Because by knowledge, one can be able to understand his real position. Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation. By meditation, one can be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by gradual process. In the cultivation of knowledge, there are processes which make one understand that one himself is the Supreme. And the other sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service. I'm reading again from here. If in the cultivation of knowledge, there are processes which make one understand that one himself is the Supreme. And that sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service. One himself is the Supreme. That is also good. What does it mean? It means aham groha upasana. Why it is good? Because at least this body. If one is not able to meditate in such a way, then there are prescribed duties as enjoyed in the Vedic literature for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, which we shall find in the last chapter of Bhagavad. But in that case, cases, one should give up the result of fruits of labor. This means to employ the result of karma for some good cause. In summary, to reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the highest goal, there are two processes. One process is by gradual development, and the other process is direct. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is the direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the fruits of one's activity. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge, then to the stage of meditation. I'm reading from here again. Okay, first here. Devotional service in Krishna consciousness is a direct method, and the other method involves renouncing the results of one's activities. Then one can come to the stage of knowledge, then to the stage of meditation, and then to the stage of understanding this person, and then to the stage of Supreme Personality. One may take either the step-by-step process or the direct path. The direct process is not possible for everyone. Therefore, the indirect process is also good. It is, however, to be understood that the indirect process is not recommended for Arjuna because it is already at the stage of loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. It is for others who are not at this stage. For them, the gradual process, for them, and again, it is for others, not for pure devotee like Arjuna. Indirect process. This indirect process is for others who are not at this stage. For them, the gradual process of renunciation, knowledge, meditation, and realization of the super soul and Brahman should be followed. But as far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, it is the direct method that is stressed. Everyone is advised to take to the direct method and surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Krishna. Then from 13th verse, here Krishna has completed our devotion service. Now from 13 to 20, next 8 verse, who is the dearest devotee of Krishna? That means, dearest devotee of Krishna, what are the qualities of devotee? Adishta sarvabhutana maitra karunivacha nirmama nirahankara samadukka sukaksham santushti sattvam yogi jatatma dhirnishcham mayi arpita manabuddhi jamadbhakta samad. Adishta, non-envious, sarvabhutana, toward all living entities, maitra, friendly, karuna, kindly, eva, certain, certainly, cha, also, nirmama, with no sense of proprietorship, nirahamkara, without false ego, Shama, equal. Dukkha, sukha, in distress and happiness. Shami, forgiving. Santushta Shatatam, always satisfied. Yogi, one engaged in devotion. Jato Atma, self-control. Driha Nishchaya, with determination. Moi, me. Arpita Mano, mind engaged. Buddhi and intelligence. Sa, one who. Mat Bhakta, my devotee. Shahi, me, to me. Rio, dear. One who is not envious, but is a kind friend of all living entities. One who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal to both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-control, and engaged devotional service with determination, whose mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. So this is nice verse. I don't want to rush this verse. We'll read tomorrow. Here, Adishta Sarvabhutana, non-envious to all living. The non-envious, we'll see in the part. Adishta Sarvabhutana, non-envious to all living. But better than this, I'm not envy to you. Better than this, you should be Maitri, friendly. Who's your better? Adishta or friend? Friend. So Adishta is good, but better than this, Maitri, friend. There's so many friends, but better than friendly Karuna. So Adishta, somebody is envious against me, I am only friendship. You should be merciful unto him. For him. How it is possible? How is possible? How it is possible? Nirahankara, with false ego. With false ego, this type of thing. Only after that, nirmama, then samadukha sukha. When the nirahankara, what is nirahankara? I am the owner of this body. So give up, then you see the equal vision. Samadukha sukha shami. Able to give fall. So nicely, Prabhupada has explained in the path. So I don't want to rush this path. Tomorrow we'll see this path. I don't know how much busy I will be tomorrow. If I will give class. Otherwise, 16 and 17 no class. 16 will be Janmashtami, 17 Prabhupada. Normally, Prabhupada's disciples class. So, but we should keep holiday that 2 days. Everybody will be busy. But I will try to give class tomorrow. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita ji, please.